why is all this nightlife a part of the culture?
Before you go to bed in the night, there are certain things that you need to take care of.
Over the past few weeks of lockdown, as the boundaries between weekend and weekdays have blurred, I've gotten into some pretty dirty habits. First, I now use the words lunch and dinner interchangeably. I'm literally losing track of time. And it's not just me. All over New York, electricity usage has fallen in the mornings and peaks by evenings. But it's not like staying up late at night is new to us. Nightlife has always been a thing, and many of our deepest conversations happen at night. And you know how biryani, leftover pizza, or cake often seems to taste best once the clock strikes 12. Ever since I was 13, the night always excited me. I used to stay up all night and listen to music. Now that I'm an adult, I do exciting things. I work, browse the net, and ponder the purpose of life. Many artistic and creative friends claim that the silence of the night is their greatest muse. Some scientists say this is because as our brains move into exhaustion, we just don't give a damn anymore and we let our brains fly with wild ideas without worrying if they're good or bad. And maybe that's why, after a week of sitting on it, I'm finally editing this video at the right hour of 1:45 a.m. It seems that some of the greatest dancers of all time did some of their daily practice or riyas in the dark. Inspired by this, I took a little break to see how it feels. Pandit Birju Maharaj explains how in the dark you can just feel your limbs moving without seeing yourself. He says that in darkness your attention becomes one-pointed. There are no distractions, and it sounded quite familiar.
What light does to you is, it makes everything distinct. Suppose lights went off. There is a certain sense of lack of boundaries in the night. So for yoga, for sexuality, for friendship, for being together, for study, for focus, for all these things, night seems to be more conducive because the difference between what is you and what is the other comes down in the night, simply because our visual apparatus function like this. Where there is no light, everything merges in our experience. So a yogi, a bogi and a rogi, all three of them make use of the night. You can also make use of it. There's no problem unless you're sleeping in the classroom. If you're not sleeping in the classroom, it's fine, nothing wrong with it.
And here I am on day 2 of working on this video up at 2:10 a.m. today. But actually, even in our culture, they do indulge in night activities once in a while. Navaratri, the 9-day festival which is dedicated to the goddess or the Devi, where we spend every night dancing, singing. It's like a 9-day party. And then there's Mahashivratri, where we spend the entire night meditating or again dancing and singing somehow to stay awake until the sun comes up. So why is all this nightlife a part of the culture? So at night, our body and mind are naturally wanting to withdraw, they want to rest, they're more inward bound. Instead of sleeping, if we can make use of this turn inward for spirituality, then it becomes very different. So that's why these night festivals, but they're just on specific days, not like my night festivals, which aren't turning out to be so healthy. First thing, it's the night eating, which leads to bad digestion, and then there's a weakened immune system, which is the last thing that any of us need right now. And then there's a whole list of a bunch of other pretty horrible side effects that come with just staying awake night after night. So, I want to start shaking off these bad habits that I've gotten into during this lockdown period, starting from when I sleep, and maybe more importantly, how I sleep.
So, before you go to bed in the night, there are certain things that you need to take care of. You eat at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. The digestion is over. Before going to bed, drink a certain amount of water and go to bed. Always to shower before go to bed. It'll make a lot of difference. It makes you alert. So you will think, oh, I cannot sleep. It doesn't matter, you will sleep 15–20 minutes or half an hour later, but you will sleep better. Have you noticed, if you're very tense and anxious, whatever, just a shower, you came out, it feels like almost the burden has been taken away from you? Have you not noticed this? So it's not just about washing the skin, a whole lot of things happen when water flows over your body. This shower is a very rudimentary buddhi shuddhi, because over 70% of your body is actually water. If you run water over it, a certain purification happens, which is beyond cleaning the skin. One more thing if you want to do, you just light an organic oil lamp. Any organic oil with a cotton wick, just burn one little lamp somewhere in the room where you sleep. If you can bring in a chant, or there are nightly practices, yogic practices, before you go to bed, sit on your bed and do this practice. If you want to do Isha Kriya, it's available on the net.
In the middle of all this uncertainty, one of the only things that I'm sure I will be doing is I'll definitely be sleeping. So I may as well learn how to do at least that properly. Before you go, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give the bell a ring too.